And we are back with another video today. How y'all doing? I have Kamara here with us, and we have two special guests today. So the topic is forgiveness. Last week we spoke about trust. The week before that we spoke about, I believe it was relationships with God, relationship with our friends, and we're about to go deep today. So are y'all ready? Because I am super excited. So I'm gonna stop talking because we're gonna get right into it. Before we start, we are going to have our special guest, Akila Benjamin, come and bless us with a song. And this is definitely one of her original songs. So be blessed and enjoy. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good. I just want to thank my girls for allowing me to be on here tonight. It's definitely a privilege and an honor. Tonight I want to share my own single with you. It's called Draw Me Close. You can find it on all music media platforms. And the song just basically, is asking God to draw us closer to Him. I know during this time is really crazy and we're living during uncertain times, but the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to draw closer to God. So just worship with me, bear with me, and I pray that you're blessed by it. Ooh, my Lord, draw me close. I need to feel your touch. Draw me close. I need to know your need. When I walk through the valley of darkness, please surround me with your unfailing love. Oh Lord, I'll lift up mine eyes to the one who sees me. Lord, please draw me close. Oh Lord, please draw me close. So I pray, draw me close. I need to feel your touch. Draw me close, oh Lord. I need to know your need. When I walk through the valley of darkness, please surround me with your unfailing love. Oh Lord, I lift up mine eyes to the one who sees me. Lord, please draw me close. Oh Lord, please draw me close. Lord, I need you right now. I can't make it without you. I put all my trust in you. I'm nothing on my own, but your love makes me strong. Every time I draw close to you. Lord, I need you right now. I can't make it without you. I'll put all my trust in you. I'm nothing without you, God. I need you every time. Oh, Lord, I need you right now. I can't make it without you, Lord. I put all my trust in you. I'm nothing on my own, but your love makes me strong. Sing every time, Lord. Oh,
hope in you. Oh, your love makes me strong every time. Oh, my God, oh my God, every time. Lord, I wanna be closer to you. Don't wanna be without you. I can't live without you, Lord. I draw close to you. So draw me close. Ooh, I need. Sing, draw me close. Oh, I need to know that you're near. When I walk through the valley, I know you're there. Please surround me. Oh Lord, I lift up my eyes. Who sees me? Lord, please draw me closer, Lord. My God, draw me closer. Draw me to the cross, oh Lord. Please draw me close. Draw me nearer, precious Lord, to the cross where thou hast died. Draw me nearer, precious Lord, to thy precious believing side, to your bleeding side. Thank you, guys.
Oh my gosh, come on, y'all gotta put your hands together for our sis Akila Benjamin. That was amazing. The song talked about drawing nearer to Christ. And so at this time I'm gonna call her back and we're going to have a little discussion in regards to, the topic forgiveness, and then we're gonna get to know our guest as well. So we're gonna bring her back with us. So Akila, you're on. So that song was amazing. That song was really, really amazing. The first question I wanted to know is, what made you write the song "Draw Me Close"? Because that has such a powerful meaning.
Yeah. So I was going through a tough season for the past 3 years.
Okay.
I've always wanted to write songs, but I felt like I never had the gift to write it.
Okay.
And so it took for me to go through this tough season in order for me to get this song. And when I wrote it, I just felt like I needed to draw closer to God, like literally.
Okay.
I needed to feel His presence. I needed Him to cover me. I needed Him to just let me know that everything was gonna be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where that came from.
Wow, that song is powerful, girl. That's a hit.
That is a hit.
That's a hit. That song is amazing. Listen, that is great.
Thank you.
So we're gonna get right into it. So tell the audience a little bit about who you are, your profession and things of that nature.
All right, cool. So my name is Akila Benjamin, like they said. I'm 29 years old, born and raised in Brooklyn.
Okay.
I spent 4 years in Ohio to do my undergrad studies.
Okay.
I got my bachelor's in psychology and a minor in Spanish.
Okay.
And then I came back home to New York, got my master's in school psychology, And now I am a school psychologist. I've been a school psychologist for about 3 years.
Okay.
Yes. So I work for the Department of Ed, and honestly, I love my job. It can be stressful, but I really love it.
Love it.
I really love it. Outside of that, I love to travel. So Rona's messing up my travel plans right now.
Talk about it.
But I really do love to travel. I love seeing the world. I love singing, as you know.
Yes.
Just spending quality time with people that I love, and just seeing people happy and just thriving in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gonna have to be traveling partners because listen, I want to travel the world. So listen, I'm with it.
Let's do it. Let's go, girl.
Right. Okay, so tell us a little bit about how long, because you did explain that you are a singer. So how long have you been singing?
So I've been singing for about let's see. So I feel like every singer says they started like 3 years old. But when I calculate back, honestly, I would say about like 5 or 6.
Okay.
I had my first solo in elementary school. I was singing "Mama" by Boyz II Men.
Okay.
I was the only one who knew like the verse and the ad-libs at 6 years old. So my teacher had me sing the solo.
Okay.
And honestly, it's just started from then. I've always had a love for music. I used to lay next to the radio, kind of just listening to songs, kind of mimicking what I heard. This is back when we had like cassette tape.
Right.
So I grew up on a lot of like old school R&B, Brandy, Boyz II Men, things like that. I probably didn't get into gospel until I got baptized. But that's kind of what I grew up on. But I've always had a love for music. I've always been when you're young, you have a little kid voice, so
right. Okay.
Yeah, but as you grow up, your voice develops. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So the next question is, if you were to sing with a famous, it could be secular, it could be Christian, who would you sing with?
So good question. I think there's so many people that I can name right now. But I'll pick 3.
Okay.
So I would choose Jonathan McReynolds. I love his style. I love his delivery. I feel like he's like super dope, and he does a lot of runs and stuff, but he's still kind of like chill with it.
Yeah.
So I think I would be able to vibe out with him and harmonize with him.
Okay.
I also think like Whitney Houston, if she was still alive,
yeah,
like classic.
Amazing. She's a
I would love to sing with her. And Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is the guy, man.
Yeah,
he's like a musical genius.
Yeah, he is. Okay.
Yeah, so I probably would go with those 3. And I'll throw Lauryn Hill in there because she's really soulful.
Yeah. She's good.
Yeah.
I'm more so on the new Lauryn Hill, her. I love her.
I love her.
She's good too. She's really good too.
She's dope. Alrighty, so the next question I want to ask is, tell us a little bit about your relationship with God. So you did talk about you gave your heart to God. So tell us a little bit about that moment where you was like, okay, I'm set. I want to give, my life to the Lord. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I go to a church called Calvary Apostolic Church.
Okay.
It's in Queens. Shout out to my church if you're watching. So I was there since I was about like 10 years old. So I've been there for like 19 years. And so while I was going there, our former pastor, his son used to play the piano. And I remember one Sunday, I was just sitting down, kind of waiting for my father to be done. And I remember in my head, I said, okay, I wish he would call me up to sing, because he was still playing at the piano. And he did call me up, like literally as I thought, he called me up to sing. And so he would work with me, Unfortunately, maybe like a couple months later, he passed away.
Okay.
So when he passed away, it kind of took a toll on me, because I just realized how fragile life was.
Okay.
And I told myself, you know what, Keela, if you were to die today, where would you go? Would you go to heaven or would you go to hell? And that kind of propelled me to give my life to Christ. So I got baptized when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
Very young, but I don't ever regret it because I've seen God's hand in my life from then until now, and He's still working. So it's been fulfilling. I love serving God. It's been really fulfilling.
Definitely. That's the best thing. Serving God, there is nothing wrong. People always complain, when you give your heart to God, you got to do this, you got to do. But I don't see anything wrong with it. Serving God in spirit and in truth, Because when you go to heaven, what you gonna be doing?
No,
So
exactly.
That's it. So you just you getting prepared from earth. So yes, but that's a good testimony. So at this point, we're gonna get right into our topic. So we're talking about forgiveness tonight, as we've seen on the flyer. So I'm going to have our next special guest, Deborah Faith. Hold on, let me put her on. We're gonna have Deborah on here. We're gonna introduce her. She's on here. Deborah, say hi. Is she on here? Yes. So we're about to start the topic. So introduce yourself to the audience that's watching.
Well, my name, as my lovely friend said, my name is Deborah. What else can I do about myself? I have a YouTube channel. I love to talk about God. I love to help. I love to give advice.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have you and Akila Benjamin on. And everybody is going to see us now. So, hey. Okay. Yes, we're doing this now. All right. So we're going to get right into it. So the first question is, how would you define forgiveness?
So am I starting?
Yeah, go ahead if you want.
Okay. So how I would define forgiveness is freedom. Where a lot of people don't understand that what comes with forgiveness is it allows you to be free from the pain and hurt that people cause you. So that's how I would define
forgiveness. Okay, cool. All right, Akila, you got a definition for us?
Sure. So when I think about forgiveness, I think it's when you essentially extend grace towards those who may have hurt you. Just kind of like not holding on to your past, but looking forward to the future.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I think it's just letting go. Just the word letting go. Letting go of past hurt, letting go of things that people might say about you. And my definition can also extend to, but I don't want to go too deep right now, but Jesus is the primary definition of forgiveness.
Right.
He forgave us, God forgave us, and because when he was going, we could talk a little bit about this, but when he was going to Jerusalem, the same people that was praising him one week was the same people that was saying crucify him. Right. And he, like I said last week, that he could have gone to his father and say, these people denied me. You can save the ones that's been loyal to me from day one. But he didn't do that. He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. So Jesus was the example of forgiveness from the beginning. So that's mine. I don't want to go too deep, but that's mine.
Right.
You want to go ahead?
Okay, so for me, I think I would agree with Deborah and piggyback off of what she said. It's this sense of freedom and this sense of, well, I guess it's a mixture of what we all said.
Yeah.
Just letting go of the past hurt and the betrayal. And the tragic. It could be tragic for some people, but letting go of certain situations, it's like once you let go, it's like this sense of relief comes over you, and you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna release you and let you go. And like what you said, bringing Jesus into the definition, that's kind of what pushes me to actually forgive and gets me through situations. It's just like what Jesus went through it's nothing compared to what I'm going through. We be complaining and we just be like, wow, you really did that to me? But if you really think about what Jesus went through.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's just like last week, the forgiveness is not for them, it's for you.
Yeah, that's deep.
Because you would be holding someone in your heart, but typically,
And they don't even know sometimes.
They don't know you're holding them in your heart, and
Yeah.
it's just like you might as well just release them and let them go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
and which leads us right into our next question that says, why is forgiveness important, and why do we forgive? And like you just said, you forgive because the example of Jesus was he forgave us when we didn't even deserve it. You know, he forgave mankind. And not even just Jesus, but let's go beyond Jesus. God himself, you know, he forgave us, and he found a way, you know, for us when, you know, from the Garden of Eden, from mankind's sin, from Noah's sin, from Sodom and Gomorrah's sin. God could have just said, you know what, that's it for mankind. I had it, you know? But he found a way. He found a way to bring someone that can save, someone that can be the lamb that was shed for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no more lambs where you got to purchase a lamb and you got to do a sacrifice for yourself. But he got a person. He got his own son.
Right.
Own son. And he used the best gift to give us. You know?
Right.
That's... Oh, I felt that just now. So go ahead. So why is forgiveness important to you?
Right, I'll go first.
Anybody? Go ahead. Anybody.
Alright. Well, the main thing the Bible says is that if we want to be forgiven by God, is that we must first forgive others. And, you know, we see that God kind of just blazes that forgiveness, you gotta forgive. And I think it's just so important that you can't, essentially, like, you can't expect what you don't want to give. Like, you always gotta give what you want in return. So you can't do what you want to do and then expect people to forgive you, but yet you're not forgiving others for what they've done to you.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's not hard. It is hard, but I think that it's like you said earlier, it's just like a freedom. It's a sense of freedom. It's the weight that's lifted off of you. And you're able to just kind of move forward into that new that God wants to do. Because you can't get into the new if you're stuck on the old. And the only way to move forward is to forgive and let go.
Okay. So say the scripture again, because that part was it was going in and out. So say
Matthew.
Yeah, I think you said Matthew.
Yeah, so it was Matthew 6, verses 14 to 15.
Okay, Matthew 6. Okay, cool. All right, that was good. That was deep. Deborah, you want to go ahead?
I agree with Kayla. You know, it's so important for us to forgive because, first of all, we know that we can't enter the kingdom of heaven if we are living as sinners, right? So, and the Bible speaks on how it's important for us to forgive others so that God can forgive us.
Yeah.
Right.
So now, if God doesn't forgive us, then we are still sinners.
Yeah.
Which means we cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven.
Yes.
So that itself is ultimately the reason why we should forgive.
Okay.
You know, so.
Okay. Alrighty. Why don't people like to forgive?
Yeah.
I felt that because, listen, I am very guilty of that. You know, there's moments where, you know, no, they're doing too much. You know, they gotta step back for a second. So it's just a matter, I think, of depending on what happens. You know, although, you know, it doesn't even matter in the book with God, you know, sin is sin, forgiveness, and what somebody does to you, you know, you still got to forgive no matter what. There's no excuse. But I would say for me, it depends on what that person does to you and how much it affects you, or how, you know, how emotional it made you feel, you know, how it affected you on the inside. And sometimes, well, 9 out of 10, sometimes, well, you could disagree. But I kind of feel that sometimes it's harder to forgive when someone, like, touches a specific part of you that's maybe insecure, or maybe they said something that probably they shouldn't have said because if you understand where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
It just depends on exactly what it is a person does. If a person says something and then it's something you don't like, where it makes you feel insecure about something, or that's already an insecurity that you're feeling, then it's like, okay, why they bringing this back up? I just got over this. Like, okay,
Right.
what are you trying to say? So, it depends on what it is, I would say. What do y'all say?
I feel like people have trouble forgiving because I feel like the human side of us, like our human emotions kick in.
Okay.
And it's like, humans have a lot of pride. We have so much pride.
Yeah, I do.
And it's just like, you don't want to be the person to apologize first. Or,
Right.
you know what, no, I'm going to wait till she or him, comes to me and says, oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
And even when they say sorry, you're still like, nah, I'm not ready to forgive you yet. And it's just that sense of pride that takes over us sometimes, and it gets the best of us in our decisions, and I feel like that's not good. And for me, I'm gonna be truthful here, okay? I had this sense of pride, and I had trouble forgiving people. And I pulled up a scripture here. It says, it's from Colossians chapter 3, verse 13. It says, bearing with one another, and if one has complaint against another, forgiving each other as the Lord has forgiven you, so you must also be forgiven. Because you can't hold people in your heart and expect God to forgive you. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like the same way he could forgive us is the same way you can forgive that other person.
Yeah.
So I just feel like as humans, we just let pride get in the middle of our decisions and allowing us to, move forward with the situation. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have an answer for that, or we want to continue on?
Hello? Sorry, no microphone.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I agree with ladies.
Okay.
And I think one of the reasons why people like to forgive, because deep down inside, people don't really understand the meaning of forgiveness, right?
Okay.
Like we spoke about how forgiveness means to be free, is to let go. And a lot of people think that when you forgive, it means that you're okay with what the person did to you.
Right.
So it's like you have to hold on to that pain. You have to hold on to that hurt. They could know and understand that they hurt you. But actuality, we're just hurting ourselves when we hold on to those things.
Exactly.
We're creating ourselves to be bounded by the hurt of other people. So I think, to return back to the question, I think people don't like to forgive because they don't want to feel like they're okay or accept the fact that the person hurt.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think just to kind of piggyback off of that, same thing. I think people get comfortable in their hurt. And it becomes a place of comfort for them. So in order to forgive, that means you have to get out of that place of comfort.
Right.
And I think I don't want to say the role of a victim, but it just feels like it becomes home for you. So, and it's like you have control over that emotion in a sense. So if you forgive, it's like then you don't have any control anymore. So I think we just like to stay in that place of comfort, and we just feel like if we don't forgive, then it gives us that control. If that makes sense.
Right. That makes sense. Okay, I like that too. Alrighty, so the next question, I'm going to move forward to the next question. So the next question is, what is the relationship between love and forgiveness?
I can go first.
Well, go ahead.
Go
ahead.
So, the connection between love and forgiveness. So, we know that God is love. And, wow, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, girl, you go.
Okay, well, yeah, definitely. So, love, in order to forgive someone, and not even in order to forgive someone, I believe that the love, not even the love that for the person, but the what's the word? because God was the example of love and forgiveness,
Yeah.
that it forces you to create that same connection when you are to forgive someone else. And so I feel like in order to love or to say that you have love for something, you have to be able to have that forgiveness and have that, okay, stuff happens, and I'm not saying that, when you forgive that person that you got to go back, but what I'm saying is that just kind of realizing that you are to love no matter what the situation is, and to just know that with that same love that you're, even if that person did something to you, that you still show the love of God.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right.
It's kind of complicated in a sense, but it's
No, I understand what you're saying.
yeah, because God is that
Yeah.
example of love.
Mhm.
And because we've hurt God in so many ways, we sinned and we did this and we did that, and when we went to God and asked him for forgiveness, God he gave us. Jesus forgave more than we've done. And if he didn't do that, then we can't necessarily say that he loves us, or
Yeah.
So, but God loves all his children the same way, unconditionally, and no matter what we do, when we come back and ask for forgiveness, God forgives us no matter what it is that we do. If you understand. Did I lose anybody?
Yeah. I thought of
No, I got you.
yeah, I think we like briefly discussed
Yeah.
this last week with Judas and Jesus right before Judas betrayed him.
Yes.
The thing is, Jesus knew, but Judas ate too. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like that love he had, even though he knew he was going to be betrayed by Judas. Jesus still washed his hands. Jesus still fed him at the end of the day. He could have said, depart from me, get from my table. But
Right.
he still, that love he had, he knew what the plan was. He knew what the ultimate plan was. But his love was still greater than those other feelings or the other human feelings, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just the love of God. You have to pray for that love. Especially as a human, you gotta be real.
You gotta pray for that.
You gotta pray for
Yes,
that.
we honestly
Yeah.
have to do it. And I feel like God never expects us to do anything that he hasn't done first.
Yeah.
And that's why he came to earth, to be the living example.
Yeah.
Because some of us, we need like physical examples. We can't just read it and
Yeah.
So he came to be that example. So nothing that we ever go through in life or that he's expecting us to do, he didn't do first.
Right.
He showed us how to do it. That's how God works. He always equips us to do what it is he's calling us to do. He never just kind of leaves us trying to like figure it out.
Right.
He shows us the way. Yeah.
That's true. That's so true.
Absolutely.
So you remember the what you was gonna say, Deborah?
It went over my head.
He went over your head. All right, so we can come back to that. All right, so we were just talking about God. The next question says, do you believe that God forgives us whenever we sin against him? Do you believe that? Well, listen, I know without a doubt in my mind that if I do something and I go and I ask God for forgiveness, listen, he doesn't
Right.
sin.
Because the thing is, we sin every day. It's like, even like in your thoughts, like it's unconsciously. You can't sometimes, you're supposed to control your thoughts, but sometimes you unconsciously think about something that's not supposed to be in your head. And you gotta remove those thoughts in the name of Jesus, and you gotta pray, okay, Lord, forgive me for what I just thought, or forgive me for what I just accidentally thought. It's just like we sin every day, so for us to not think that he doesn't forgive us, it's just like,
Yeah.
right.
But we also have to remember that just because you sin doesn't mean that God is automatically going to forgive you. It goes two ways.
Okay.
So you have to confess in order for him to forgive. A lot of people are thinking like, God knows I'm a sinner. God knows I'm a mistake. So he's already forgiven me. But it's like, no. You have
Gotta do the whole thing.
And there's steps to it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I like that. I definitely like that. So there's steps to it. It's levels to
You confess, and then God gives you. But it's not just confessing. It's really trying to make an effort to live it right and not make a mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
I think people feel like, oh, it's just one time God's gonna turn it. It's like, no. You have to like walk a battle. You have to constantly fight against making that same mistake.
Right.
Like, you can't take advantage of God. Like, you love Him and He's merciful, but we should never take advantage of relationship with God as if, one of my relationship with a friend. Like, I don't do it purposefully. Next time you hurt them, I want to try my best to make sure that we're good and that I don't make them mistake again. And I think that's the thing, because God is like here with us. People think like, oh, well, He'll be alright, He'll forgive us. He'll do grace. And I'm like, no.
Right.
We shouldn't take Him for granted.
Exactly. Taking Him for granted. We do that sometimes.
Yeah.
We do that. But the beginning part, we didn't necessarily hear. I think there's like an in and out motion that's going on. I heard, I didn't hear the beginning part, but then the ending part we was able to hear.
Yeah, it was breaking out.
It's going in. It's still going in and out.
Breaking out.
It's going in and out. Okay, but
I'm not sure.
it's still going. So maybe you can try to like exit it and then come back in. Yeah, try to see if you can do that. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna go to the next question. Okay. Yeah, and then the link. Okay, so she just.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Alrighty, good. All right, so we are going to move forward, right? We are gonna move forward, so we're gonna get Deborah here until she comes back. Alrighty. So the next question is, how do I forgive someone? So this can be for anybody to answer. How do I forgive someone that has betrayed me? Okay, let's try this.
Honestly, like, we can do it on our own strength.
Right.
And I think that's the problem. I think it was my issue.
Mm-hmm.
Where I kept trying to do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt. Because it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I had to do, and what I advise anyone watching as well, how to forgive someone that betrayed you is honestly cry about it. And I know some people are like, oh my goodness, that's a simple answer. But there's so much power in prayer that people do not understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
So ultimately, it's cleaning up it. And God will direct you and show you how to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. How do you forgive someone who's betrayed?
Who's betrayed you? Okay.
Okay.
Well, no. I think that you always have to forgive whoever, but forgiveness is it's not a sensitive topic, but it's a sensitive topic at the same time.
A little bit.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to like betrayal. But I would personally say, forgive them the same way you would forgive anybody else. Forgive them, let them go.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to, run back and be, best friends again. But just create boundaries with that person. Bible says forgive, but doesn't mean you have to always fall back in the same pattern because you forgive. You create boundaries with that person who betrayed your trust. You can't trust that person, so don't open yourself up to them that much and let them in that much, but create boundaries. Forgive them, that person, love them from a distance. Well, not from distance, up to you what you want to do. But you know what I mean?
Right.
But just, create boundaries and still show the love of God.
So I have a question. It's not on the list, but you just made a point, because what we do sometimes when someone has betrayed our trust, we tend to, even if we forgive them, we hold a certain boundary towards them. We keep them a certain distance from us. They don't know certain information. And imagine if God was to do that to us. What would happen if God was like, listen, this person just did this. They betrayed me. They did this. They did that. And I'm going to put a certain boundary towards them and me. How would that work out for us? Let's just say, how would that work out for us?
Not well.
It wouldn't, not well at all. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing because when you think of that, you think of somebody betraying you. You think of Judas and Jesus, and Judas basically betrayed Jesus. He basically, like I said last week, he basically got Jesus lined. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got him. He made sure that he got his money, and he made he was the person that brought the Pharisees, to Jesus, right? And based off of what he did, God still and Jesus still showed him love no matter what. When he saw Judas, he called him friend, and he did not have this boundary or have this thing towards him. God still loves mankind no matter what, so sometimes we do stuff and then it's like, if God was to do that to us, it would be hell breaking loose in our life, honestly. Yeah, it would.
Right.
But it's just amazing. It's just like when you think about the goodness and the mercy and the grace of God, and his level of love for us. Yeah, his love and unconditional. You could say the word unconditional and not really understand it, but when you really think about it, his unconditional love is just magnificent. It's amazing. It's amazing. I just want to throw it out there because I'm like,
that's something to think about.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I agree. Definitely. God wants us to. We gotta forgive. That's point blank clear. We have to forgive. But I do think it's helpful to set boundaries. I really do. You can't allow someone to basically constantly hurt you over and over again.
Right. Exactly.
You have to do some limit, like because the Bible says to guard your heart, right? So if I'm allowing this person to come and just kind of hurt me over and over again.
Right.
And am I being wise?
Right.
Yeah, forgive me. I'm gonna let them this.
Right.
God doesn't let everybody know His person. So I think it's okay to kind of create boundaries. You don't hate a person or you love them any less, but you're creating boundaries so that you can feel comfortable enough. And not be worried that you're going to get hurt again by that person.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right. Okay. I like that. I definitely like that.
Totally agree.
And the Bible definitely talks about being wise. It talks about being wise. So you have to be wise because you can show somebody love. You can forgive somebody, and because they see that love in you, they can take advantage of that and constantly do the same thing to you. Mm-hmm. So being wise in certain situations is just. It's supposed to happen, but it's just a question because it's just like we do stuff and we subconsciously does things, and it's just like God still loves us no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that that's just a question to think about. That's a question to think about. All right, so I'm gonna move forward to the next question. We do have a few, so we're gonna try to see if we can speed it up a little bit. Okay, so the next question is, how do you know when you're holding a grudge? How do you know? Because you can be like, I forgave this person, but when you see them, like, yo, this is what this person did.
Right.
I'm not messing with that. So how do you know?
That's what it is.
Right.
You know that you're still holding the. They really, every time you see them or you hear their name, and it kind of raises up some inappropriate emotions like anger and like. Yeah, definitely. It happens. 15 years ago, you're definitely.
That's a fact. Go ahead. I think Deborah was saying something too.
Yeah. I couldn't hear what Keila says. So I don't know if we're gonna say the same thing, but it's honestly when you're around that person.
Mm-hmm.
How does that person make you feel? Like, do you feel like helping them when they need the help, or do you remember everything that they did to you and want to like do something wrong? You know, so honestly, when you're in their presence, like how do you feel?
How do you
That's
feel?
your whole purpose,
How do you feel? Okay, that's deep. How do you feel? Cause this is like, nah, I remember this. Like this person really did me dirty. You know?
I feel
right?
Yeah, did me dirty, and I'm like, nah, I'm not even talking to them. I'm about to pass them, but it's just like, you know.
And I feel like with holding grudges, I don't think it's like an overnight process where it's just like, okay, I forgive you, and I'm gonna wake up and it's just my feelings is not gonna be there, and I'm praying like to get to that point. But I've gotten so much better over the years. But it's just like I feel like once you make that first step to let go of that situation, I feel like God will do the rest, because you know that's what he does. Once he sees the works and your effort, I feel like he will help you get through that situation. Because when Kobe Bryant died with all those people on the plane, I tried to make amends. I don't know who I offended, but I sent out a little paragraph to all my family and friends, and I said, listen, if I hurt you in some way, I'm sorry. If you did me wrong, I forgive you. But I tried to, you know, make that effort, make that step, you know, to make it clear on my end. Because say I go the next day, I stand before God. He like, oh, you still holding so and so in your heart from 2 years ago, and I'm like, Lord, was I, you know? So I wanted to make that first step, you know. Okay, I'm making the effort to let go of that situation. I want to be forgiven like you forgive me. So
Okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go right into that because that can correlate with this quote. So we usually hear the quote, I will forgive you, but I won't forget what you did. And sometimes we don't necessarily say it, it's that thought. I'm not gonna forget you.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you don't like it? I don't like it either. I don't, because I feel like it contradicts each other. It's just like, okay, you're not gonna forget what the person did. I mean, over time, it's gonna take time, but it's gonna take time for you to like forget, and it's all about how you feel. Like how you said before, Deborah. It's all about how you feel when you think about it, about what this person did.
Yeah.
So I think that the best way is to try to forget. You probably would not even necessarily like fully forget, but
yeah, as a human, I don't think we'll ever forget.
Yeah,
but it's just like
the emotional,
emotionally. Yeah,
that's it. I think it's
you're never gonna forget what somebody did, especially if it hurt you and affected you in a crazy way.
Right.
But I don't know. At least you can't try to forget it. It just won't happen.
Right.
It's in your brain. Like,
Emotionally.
I don't think you can forget at all because you're human. Like tomorrow, you're human. However, it's about you shifting your perspective, right? Are you going to focus on what made you feel, or are you going to focus on kind of what you did to help you? Because a lot of things that we go through, it kind of pushes us into that next level of our life. So, you know, I can give an example. Like I said, I've been going through something like a tough season for the past 2 years, and now I'm kind of out of it. But while I was in it, I feel so focused on, you know, what good happened. So, yes, it hurt me, but this good thing happened to me. This good thing happened. I think you have to really like shift your perspective. You know? You can't forget. You're human. You can't forget, but you can't be like every time you see them. You know, it's like your teeth always like you have to just really like change your mindset and change your perspective. Really look at that good, because God said that He takes all things and works together for our good. So that means good and bad. So I think that's really just about changing our focus.
Okay. Alrighty. So some of the viewers are saying they're getting a feedback.
It sounds like a heater. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe a
if
heater.
If somebody has their heat on.
Okay,
I know our heater sounds like that.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause the questions for now, and we're gonna see who is tuning in. So we do have people on YouTube and we have people on Facebook Live. Well. So we want to welcome you to our chat. Our topic is forgiveness. Right. We are going deep tonight. We talking about forgiveness. Listen, we gotta do that. We gotta do our part in talking about that. So who do we have on here? If you want to say who you are. What's the comment saying?
Someone said Sing Aquila. I'm not sure. It's like a nickname, but I'm not too sure. Coco said Sing Aquila.
Okay.
David Coleman. Shih Tzu, and Pierre, and yeah.
Okay, cool. And then who do we have
Um,
here? Okay, so they're just watching, and then we have Sharon Edwards. We have
Sharon Adams.
Oh yes, Adams. I'm sorry.
Hey, cuz.
Hey, cuz. We have Shayna. We have Alyssa. Okay, and then we're gonna continue going. Alrighty. So thank you all for joining, and we are going to move forward with the next question. Okay, so this question is, a little, I wouldn't say a little funny, but it says, how do you know if you're letting someone go because you have forgiven them or because they hurt you?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you know?
So, I think there are just some people who are just there in your life for a season.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that question is funny a little.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like if you forgive someone, it's wrong to let them go.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends on the situation,
Right. That's what I was thinking too. It depends on the situation. It depends on, and then it also goes back to what you were saying in regards to emotion wise. So if you're letting someone go based off of, that hurt that they made you feel, then, it has to do with your emotions. And then that's how you know that,
Right.
let's say if you see the person, you bump into the person, that same emotions come back up, you know that you haven't forgiven them. And so when you let them go, you forgive them and you let them go, I think that it's when that you have healed internally and you allowed God to work within you to allow that that hurt that you once felt become whole again, and where you could see that person, you could say what's up, how you doing, and you could just still continue on. I feel like that's where it separates.
Yeah, I feel like it all depends on the situation, and it all ties back to what we said before with just creating boundaries. If that person, did something extremely serious, I feel like you shouldn't keep them in your circle. I feel like you can forgive a person and still let them go. I mean, I forgive you, but you don't necessarily have to be in my life right now. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you're not like holding a grudge against them. We just don't connect anymore. Some people you just outgrow.
Right.
It doesn't mean you have to keep them in the same circle. So that's what I feel.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Let's see. Let me get the next question. So we have a lot of questions here.
Yeah,
we have a lot of questions here from the viewers. Okay, so and some of them are similar. So I'm just gonna skim through them. So one of them, this one is interesting. The question says, "How do you forgive yourself?" Because sometimes, we can. I could say we can go through something and kind of blame myself for the reason why this certain specific thing has taken place in our life, or saying. Choosing to go a place that we weren't supposed to, or being a part of the wrong place at the wrong time, and then this happened and you're like, oh, I wish I didn't do this, I wish I didn't do that, and you're becoming hard on yourself. So how do you forgive yourself? Okay, so I think I'm gonna go. I think over time it takes time, and allowing God to be in your life and to kind of help you get through that emotion that you're feeling, that hurt that you're feeling. Because although somebody could have done something to you, you could still, let's say, you can still have this feeling of, I allowed this to happen. I was the one that, allowed this certain thing to take place in my life. Allowing God to kind of orchestrate your life and allowing those, like I said before, those hurts to become whole again. I don't think there's anything else that you can do but to pray.
Right.
That's the thing that you can do.
Right.
Your emotions is something that can take you on a whole roller coaster, but God brings you to a stable place in your life. And if you come onto me, this is what can take place. He can make you whole. God is the person that can make you whole. God is the person that can heal your broken heart. Anything that you've went through, and that later becomes a testimony. That's why your situations, whatever we go through, later when we give our heart to God, it becomes a testimony. So I would say that only thing that you can do is just pray and allow God to come in and do what He does.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
I agree with you. I feel like prayer. That's the only answer to get through that. Because when you're doing something that's wrong, or you hurt someone else, it's like this sense of conviction comes over you. Like, okay, whoa, and it's this guilt that you feel on the inside. It's like, okay, I don't like to feel no guilt at all. I can't deal with guilt at all. That's why I try to stay away from those situations, because that feeling is not a good feeling.
Right,
I don't know if y'all felt that, but it's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
So you just gotta pray through it and be like, God, forgive me, and do your part. Apologize to whoever, and that's that. Just stay in prayer, because I feel like it all depends on the person too, because guilt can take a toll on a person mentally and emotionally. So staying in prayer would do you justice. So yeah.
Okay.
I think that you have to believe. They have to believe that God's word is true, because God says that He has forgiven us. If we repent, He forgives us, right? And that He will move our sins from as far as the east is to the west. And we know the east is far from the west, so that's a big span.
Right.
But I think it's just believing that God forgives us, because if we can live in that, and if we can walk in that, then we're able to forgive ourselves. Because we're taking on that identity that He's given us. We're not taking on the identity of our past mistakes, but rather the identity, our God-given identity. So I think that's the key thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments on it? Okay.
Oh, we actually have a comment on YouTube.
Go ahead.
Taj says, and remember, God is a forgiving God. Pray and not beat yourself up, because you're bound to sin again.
I like that. I definitely got.
We always fall short, but we always got to bounce back and be like, you know what, God, I know I did wrong. Forgive me.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
definitely
true.
like that. Okay. The next question is, well, this one is easy. How often should we forgive?
Let me pull up. That's good.
Listen, again, it's, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you know what works. Times 70, right?
Right, that's exactly the scripture I was putting up.
Again, they show the example. God shows the example. Listen, He forgives us over and over and over again. So
Matthew 18 verses 21 to 22 says, Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee, until 7 times, but until 70 times 7 times. Woo.
That's a lot of times.
A lot of times.
That is a lot of times.
That just shows forgiveness is a key.
That's a key factor.
Yeah, key factor.
Key factor.
Yeah. Faith.
Okay. And then there's another question with it. Let me see. Where is it?
Got more people tuning in.
Is there a question on there?
Just Elijah Hall. He said, I made it. How's everybody doing tonight?
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so we're going to go back to that one. It says, okay, so this is for a question to answer for the viewer. So there's people tuning in, and the question is, how do I forgive? And, maybe there is someone here that, is struggling with forgiveness. What are methods that we can give them to learn how to forgive someone who wronged them, or even like the question has said about yourself and, different things. How can we forgive? So what are some methods? Why are you laughing?
How?
Methods and gifts to forgive someone. Oh, that's hard. Well, I mean, I can say because
It's going in and out.
you can hear myself, but okay. So,
Okay, go ahead.
in my past, for those who don't know, I am breaking up with me.
Okay, yeah, it's breaking up.
Yeah.
And it's freezing too. Okay, so she's gonna come back. Okay, so while she comes back, so I can answer that. So how do we forgive? So the first thing is just acknowledging the fact that you've been hurt. That's
Right.
the first thing.
Yeah, that's the first step.
If you can go and people could deny it, have so much pride and be like, listen, it's whatever. But when you acknowledge that someone has done something to hurt you or offend you, that's the first key, to acknowledge it. The next thing is, if it's so hard to bear, like we were saying, pray to God. God is there as a source. God is there as a person that we can lean on for,
Right.
help in that situation. And so I would say acknowledging the pain that you feel and allowing God to heal that pain that you feel.
Right, right.
That was deep. Let me say that again. Acknowledging the pain that you feel and allowing God to heal the pain that you feel. Because you can go days and days trying to work on it. Okay, I'm gonna get over this, But sometimes when you see the person, like we said, when you see the person, that same feeling that you felt can come back up,
Yeah.
So just acknowledging and allowing God to do the rest. That's what I would say. That's two. It's two of them. Allowing God to do the rest. I think that's important.
I think
that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to acknowledge it, but you also have to communicate the person that you.
Right, right.
Because I think it's very important. Like, if you don't know that they hurt you, there's no way to kind of reconcile,
Mhm.
So that's the key thing. And it's very important to communicate how I feel, because it's a vulnerability, which I like. But
It's going in and out.
somebody to the end. So I think the key thing is that can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's still going in and out. But the screen is frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah. It is.
I am not.
Okay.
Is it good now?
Yes, it's good now. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying that you have to acknowledge and you just also have to communicate.
Mhm.
And I think once you kind of get through that, then you can move into that healing process. That's when you're able to forgive. And definitely pray about it. But I think also getting wise counsel, therapy, those are very good outlets to kind of navigate through your feelings, what you're feeling, and help you with forgiveness.
Right. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, I like that. Alrighty. So let me actually say the question again for Deborah, because now she's back on. The question is, how do you forgive? So I just had said acknowledging the hurt that you feel and allowing God to heal the hurt that you feel. So that's my too. And then Akila had said her piece as well.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
When you have to first admit it to yourself that, I'm not healed from what that person did to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be willing to allow God to help you heal from that.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to take, if anyone has any questions, we're going to take some questions from our Facebook viewers and our YouTube viewers. Go ahead.
Okay, so Sister Trina said you have to forgive yourself before you forgive those who've wronged you. Yes, that is true.
I agree.
Jenny Honore said everyone deserves to be forgiven because no one is perfect. That is also true.
That's definitely true.
We are far from perfect.
We are far from perfect.
There's only one perfect person. That's Jesus.
That's it.
That's it. Everybody
That
else
is it.
falls short all the time.
That's it. That's a word by itself. Hello today.
Amen.
Alrighty, so we could do let's see if we could answer about 2 more questions, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. If the viewers have any more questions, we'll take that as well. Okay, so some of these questions, like I said, is a little repetitive. Yes, this was going with the other one. How often should we forgive? The next question is, how quickly must you forgive someone?
Yeah. Let me answer that. I feel like it's a process. Like I said before, it's not an overnight process, but it's a process. And it's a process where you gotta seek God for wisdom and discernment on how to deal with the situation, because I feel like even if you try to like bounce back like within the next couple of hours, you can't forget that you're human and you can't let the emotions get the best of you. So I feel like the best thing to do is like allow the situation to cool off, depending how serious the situation is. Allow the situation to cool off, allow your emotions to cool down before you just react. Because sometimes a person will be like, okay, let's try to fix this, but as you're it can start riling up again because you're still riled up. So I feel depending on the situation, it'll be a process, but you just have to pray for discernment and wisdom along the way. So,
okay. Anybody else?
I completely agree with you. Because also too, once you have that relationship with God, there are things that He will reveal to you, right? And that's one of the things I had to realize, where a lot of people hurt me, a lot of people betrayed me, but I got closer to God and started reading my Bible, and I came across this famous verse which it says, we don't fight against flesh and blood, but by the evil, spirits that rule the world. So once I came across that verse, I realized that there's certain things people do to you, it's not them, right? But it's an evil spirit that's in them. So once I realized that, I'm like, okay, I understand. And also too, we have to understand, as Christians, we will be persecuted.
Right.
So.
Okay, I like that.
Totally
I definitely like that. Okay.
I definitely think it's a process. And you have to allow yourself to go through that process.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times as Christians,
Yeah. You sound fine now.
Yeah. So I was just saying that. I was just saying that it's a process that you have to go through. You have to allow yourself to go through that process, because I know sometimes as Christians they tell us that, well, you just have to forgive right away. And we're human. Yes, we should forgive, but allow yourself to kind of go through that process and feel what you feel, but just don't allow it to become a destination. Like go through it, take it to God, let Him heal you, let Him show you how to deal with it. And when you honestly let Him, when you have Him help you, it becomes easy to forgive. It becomes easy to let go. We're trying to give it to God and let Him do the work for you. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so I just thought of a question, because I heard from you as well, and Akila Benjamin, that it's a process, and we are human. So let's say, I don't want to be morbid, let's say, God forbid, something happens to you, and during that process of you forgiving that person, but you have not forgiven that person, how do you think it will be viewed in heaven? Do you understand my question?
So while you're in the process of
while you're forgiving, God forbid, something happens and Jesus comes back and you did not have that opportunity to officially forgive that person. How do you think that that will
Well,
work in our favor.
God sees your heart.
Okay.
So I feel like if the thought was there
Mm-hmm.
and you had the intentions to forgive,
Yeah.
but Jesus comes back,
Mm-hmm.
then I think God sees that you wanted to do it.
Okay. Okay.
But I feel like it's kind of a it's kind of like an iffy situation and a tough question because of course he sees the heart and your intention, but then again that's the heart is where the unforgiveness lies at the end of the day. So it's just like I wanted to forgive but I didn't get to that part of the process yet. I could have forgave earlier but I didn't, but I wanted to go through the process. So it's just like, I mean, I feel like we'll never know.
Right, exactly.
But I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I think that because you can't, like I said, as you're going through this process, if you're making a conscious effort to get to forgiveness, I don't think God is going to hold it against you. Like you are really being stubborn. You're like, I'm not forgiving them. And then God forbid they pass away or whatever it may be. If you're really making a conscious effort, I don't think that you can know who passed away and not passed away before you forgive them. You don't know.
Right.
I think, it's like, like you guys are saying, it's about your heart. And I don't think that you're being unforgiving. I think you just haven't really reached that part. And then I can't really let it go. I feel okay now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like all the answers. Okay. Alrighty. So the last question, and see if any of the viewers have any questions as well. But the last question is, do we need to constantly forgive someone who continues to do wrong to us?
Oh, you want me to answer first?
I mean, it's anybody. It's anybody. Just
I would say that you should always forgive. Point blank period.
Mm-hmm.
But you should not give them that space to hurt you. Then you like. I think it's kind of your fault at one point if you're constantly hurting you over and over again. You keep letting them back in. Like, if you know if these happen, you kind of gotta be like, all right, I love you. Keep them at a distance. Forgive them, but keep them at a distance. If you let them back in, then you look like boo-boo, and then it doesn't work.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like the topic of forgiveness is just very repetitive.
It is, because I feel like we answer the same question over and over. But
with this question, it's just like, once again, you gotta create boundaries, or else, like she said, you're going through the same thing over again.
Right.
You're in the same cycle of just toxicness, and in order to break that cycle, you gotta create some boundaries with certain people. The same people that just constantly hurts you. It's like, why go back to that situation if you know this is going to be the outcome? Doesn't necessarily mean you're holding a grudge, but you want to protect your peace too. You understand what I'm saying?
You want to be wise.
You gotta be wise. You can't just keep running back to the situation. Use wisdom. You can't keep running back to the situation that hurt you. You gotta know your worth too for yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't deserve to be in your life. They're just gonna keep hurting you.
Yeah.
So, no.
Know your worth.
Know your
worth.
Know your worth.
Listen. That's a whole nother topic. Know your worth. Listen. But you still show the love of God no matter what. You still, the ones that have done you wrong, love. When you see them in the street, hi, how you doing? Yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean, anything, but hi, how you doing? That peace within. Yeah. That's what matters. Okay. So that's the last question. If anybody had any more comments and No,
I haven't seen any more comments, but we still have some people still viewing.
Okay. Yeah. So if anybody on here has any more, comments in regards to forgiveness, it could be about anything that we spoke about. Okay. Alrighty. So what I can definitely say is just a reminder of the process of forgiveness. And yes, forgiveness is a tough topic to talk about because we over here like trying to put our words together for it. But forgiveness is a main factor, not just in just our life, but in our Christian faith.
Yeah.
And I think that if God was able to forgive us for the many things that mankind has done against him, turn their back on him, we can do we can too forgive as well. You know, the things that we think is major is nothing compared to what Jesus went through. Nothing compared to what we subconsciously do to God on a daily basis, you know? And I think that he shows us an example of love, of forgiveness constantly in the Bible. And I think it's something that is so powerful and something that is great to live by.
Right.
It's great. And, you know, going back to Judas and Jesus, that is just a primary example of the love of God, the love of Jesus, and showing forgiveness. I don't want to go too deep, but there is a part, do you remember the part, I don't remember the scripture, but after the disciples were on the water, it's not necessarily forgiveness, but it's just showing God's love. But when they came off the water, you remember when Peter was tested? You remember that part when he was after there was the people that was I guess it was the demonic spirits that he put in the water. He showed them mercy.
Cast it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He casted out the guy in
Yeah.
And even with that, the mercy of God.
Right.
The mercy of God is just amazing. It's just like even the demons that, you know,
roams the earth,
that tries to, you know, devour people, to take people, to do evil things and create evil thoughts. He still grants them mercy.
Because rather than sending them right back to the pits, well, straight to the pits, he, you know, cast out the spirits into the water.
Yeah, so it's amazing.
Best example is Paul.
Paul. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul. Paul, he
was out here
persecuted.
Persecuted. He was a terrorist. That's what he was. He was a terrorist.
He was a terrorist.
Right.
He was a terrorist. Paul is a primary example as well. It's crazy, but God's mercy and his grace is just so sufficient for us that we have no choice but to do our part as people. You know, because if we
even when you think about Peter, because Peter was Jesus' right-hand man.
Yeah.
And in a sense, he sinned against Jesus because he knew him.
Yeah.
But yet, when God was resurrected and he came back, he went to tell the disciples, he said, and Peter. And he even told Peter later on, you know, upon you I'm going to build my church. So that's forgiveness, because he could have been like, you denied me, so that's it. But he didn't hold that against him. He was like, you know what, I'm going to use it for your good. And you're going to become who I'm calling you to be. I'm going to use that to mold you to become who I'm calling you to be. And I feel like that's what forgiveness does for us. It helps to mold us into who God wants us to be. And as long as we practice that, we put that into practice, the sky's the limit of what God can do with our lives.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add on to what you were saying before. I'm talking from, you know, personal experience. Of course, we're all praise and worship leaders. I'm not sure if Deborah's one, but I know Akila's a praise and worship leader as well. And being a leader in the church, I'm not gonna lie, it caused me to mature as a person. And of course, there's certain, you know, there's always going to be something that's said that's going to offend you in the wrong way, because at the end of the day, you are human. But it actually matured me and caused me to, okay, we can move past this, because at the end of the day, in ministry, you got to put your human feelings aside, because this is about God at the end of the day. We're doing this for God. This is not for humans. This is not for the congregation. It's not for us as singers. This is for God. This is of service to God. So it caused me to grow spiritually and as a person, and to mature. And even if somebody wrongs you or does you wrong and you weren't in the wrong, it's okay to, you know, reach out and be like, okay, hope you're doing good, hope you're doing okay, let's move past this situation. Because you showing that light and that positivity, you never know what it could do for that person.
Yeah.
Wow, even after I said this, wow, even after I did this, she still turned around and forgave me. She still turned around and, you know, sent me a text and showed that she cared and showed the love of God. So I feel like not everybody's like that, but you got to just pray to get to that point, to the point where you could just shine God's love, show God's love with anybody. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I definitely like that.
Yeah.
Do we have any more questions?
No.
Alrighty. So if there's no more questions, no more comments, I just want to thank Akila Benjamin first. Thank you so much for the song. Thank you for that song. That was amazing. And thank you for being a part of this talk, the topic of forgiveness. And Deborah as well, thank you so much for being a part of this topic as well. This was a great talk.
It was.
And we definitely got to do this again. We have to do this again.
Listen, I need to, after this whole quarantine, I'm going to call you guys to come to a video with me.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm with it. I'm already with it. Yes. So at this time, I'm gonna put up Deborah's YouTube channel. He lives in me. So you can go right now and you can add her on YouTube and subscribe to her channel. And like she is saying, like she talks about God, he lives in her. All right. So
amen.
I love
like
that. So
like
go
that.
and subscribe to her YouTube channel right now. Akila, do you have a YouTube channel? Or do you have
Yes, I do. Type in Akila Benjamin. And like I said, my song is on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere they have music. My song is there. It's called Mommy Close.
Okay.
So go ahead and 3 minutes, buy it. Everyone to listen to it. Tell your mom about it. All for it.
Okay, great. Okay, so
that's how you can find me.
Okay, great. So you heard Akila Benjamin. Her YouTube channel is Akila Benjamin, right? Is it together? Is it spaced out?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So her
I
YouTube
think
channel
it's together.
is together. Okay. So her YouTube channel is Akila Benjamin, and Deborah's YouTube channel is He Lives in Me. So go and subscribe to their channel. Go and listen to Akila Benjamin's song.
Yes.
And we just thank you for joining us today. So put your hands together for them. I'm super, super excited what just took place today. I'm excited about that. Thank you, ladies, so much. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Doing this, ladies. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you so much. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you. Alrighty, so we're about to end off, but we just want to thank our viewers for being a part of this talk, the topic of forgiveness. I just want to remind you to forgive. Allow God to be the person that comes to your life to help you make the broken pieces of you a whole piece of you, right? And so we spoke about the process. The process is acknowledging that you've been hurt, that someone has hurt you. And the next part is praying and allowing God to make you whole. So God bless you, and we thank you for joining. And we about to leave with a bang. So like the song, like the YouTube channel, and go and subscribe to our special guest for being a part of it. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll be back next week at the same time. God bless you.
God bless you.